So technically, I guess you could say the first time I homebrewed was probably with him back in the early 90s, probably like 93, 94.
What were you, 5?
I was 7.
I was close.
I was married.
I was getting AARP envelopes already.
Oh, yeah. You are that old.
Syrup dripping from his fake road. Who did he see when he heard who was there? Now it seems
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Lager Room, guys. It is Tuesday, June the 1st. Some people say the 1st. 2021. Jersey Johnny coming at you, and with me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai eating something. Say hello, Mr. Samurai, if you can.
Well, I can. It's want a little tail?
Don't even go there.
No. Happy World Milk Day, guys.
Happy World Milk Day. It is World Milk Day today.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? We drink a lot of milk today, or we just celebrate cows, or what do we do?
If we're celebrating cows, we'd have the Bolero Boys on.
Exactly. Right. This is true. We celebrate. So it should be Happy Bolero Snort Day, basically.
No, it shouldn't.
If it was Cow Day, I'm saying. If it was Cow Day, it would be Bolero
Snort Day.
No,
still shouldn't.
It shouldn't?
No.
No? All right.
No.
Just no.
No, not giving them a nod. We just already did about 3 times. But
I already did 3 times. It doesn't matter. All right. So it's another day, though, today, right? It's something else today, too?
Well, there's a couple of days. The get up today is the Hawaiian shirt because it's Go Barefoot Day.
It's Go Barefoot Day. Happy
and
Go
I
Barefoot Day.
I am actually barefoot, but the shirt is made from a company in Hawaii named Go Barefoot.
Mm-hmm. I'm barefoot as well, just in case anybody really needs to know that.
Yeah. I'm glad you got it spelt right because barefoot and barefoot, they're 2 different things.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Anyway.
B-E-A-R foot?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a whole different thing.
That barefoot is totally different now.
But on a more serious note, it being the 1st of June,
mm-hmm.
It is the beginning of Pride Month.
It is the first day of Pride Month. Yes, it is.
And that's why if you saw the Beer Samurai logo, it was a little switched up. Got the
Pride
flag up there. Yep. And
go.
there we go. There it is. And they changed it for all of the letters of the alphabet.
There you go.
Right. Mm-hmm. And, we want to mention it because, the craft beer community is taking quite a bit of a shiner lately on It's not being as inclusive as it's seemed to be to most people. But,
sure.
With all the people that John and I know in the industry, we see it as an inclusive industry. Right?
I do.
Right.
And
from the people that we know.
From the people we know, yeah.
So it's just entering the Pride Month, figured give that a nod.
Mm-hmm.
As we do the whole month, but
exactly. Yeah, I definitely think we should. And from from what I hear, that all of the celebrations this year are actually happening. So, as they did not last year, obviously, much of nothing actually happened last year.
Yeah,
so,
nothing. That was fine.
Exactly. So, anyway, should we bring our guests on? What do you think?
I think we should bring the guests on.
I think we should bring the guests on.
That's why we're here.
We are. We are here for them. They are not here for us. We are here for them.
Yeah.
Are you still eating?
No. Well, yeah, I will still be eating throughout the show. I will.
What was that tail you were eating?
That's tempura shrimp, but it's in a bun. There's a place I'd like to go. It's called Chicken Play. They're these buns.
Oh, okay.
And
so I thought you were eating like a tempura shrimp hero or something.
No. It's interesting because the way it's spelled, chicken, then PLE, all in one word. When I first read it, of course, I read it chicken nipple.
Of course. Well,
of course I did.
Right. So you ordered chicken. So that's why you ordered it, because it was chicken nipples.
Yeah, I ordered chicken nipples.
You ordered chicken nipples for dinner.
And I was a little disappointed at first, but hey, still.
There you go. But you got to think they're pretty small, right?
Actually, they're not mammals, so they don't have nipples.
There you go. This is true.
So, and now we're back to cows.
So once again, happy World Milk Day. Yes. There you go. All right. Let's bring on our guests. Here we go. We have 2 of the triumvirate from Four City Brewing today. We have Mr. Jeff Gattens. Am I saying it correctly, Jeff?
It's Gattens.
Gattens. And where the emphasis was. And, of course, we have Mr. Anthony Minervino. And there he is right there.
Four City in the house. Four
City in the house. Roger Apollon. Am I saying that right, Apollon?
Yep.
All right. Roger Apollon Jr. Hopefully will be along soon.
Yeah,
but we will hold the fort down until he does join.
We now know Four City's gang sign.
We now know Four City's
right.
gang sign.
Well, see, it is what it is. It's sipping the pour, waving the 4-4.
Waving the 4.
sipping the pour, waving the 4-4.
There you go.
And then you just boom, you just wave your hands, force. That's it.
I got a feeling this is going to be hilarity tonight. So
Anthony's already drinking there. Are you drinking a Four City?
This is where we start. At Four City, actually, we got some beautiful tanks behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it's gonna look. We got 3 7-barrel fermenters, 2 15s, a nice 15-barrel bright tank. We got our lager in right now, doing its thing. I got a Citrus City.
That keg stand, right?
Nickname for Orange? Yeah, keg stand. Yeah, we're got a new batch coming up. That'll be ready in about 3 weeks. This beautiful number here is called Citrus City, another nickname for Orange, and it's just a great pale ale. It's our flagship. Simcoe Centennial Citra, a little cryo in there. It's just a great beer, like on a hot day.
Nice.
Any day, but I always direct people to start either with keg stand, depending if they're like a lager person, or if they're an IPA. Sometimes they shy away. Actually, IPA heavy haze heads shy away from Citrus City. But I said you gotta try Citrus City. It's it's a great starting point, and it just sets it up. And it's super hazy anyway. So any haze, geek is definitely going to like it too. So
sure.
It's but people are like, because people want like strong, but it's just a beautiful beer.
I went a different direction tonight since it's milk month or milk day.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm going strawberry milkshake IPA today.
There you go.
Milkshake.
There we go. What's that one called?
What's the name of it?
This one is called It's Better Than Yours.
So
Khalees. Yes.
There you go.
And I'm being civilized tonight. I'm actually not drinking it out of the can. I'm drinking it out of a fancy, nice glass now.
There you go.
Very nice.
What did we we wrote something on the bottom of that. It's better than yours.
We did. There's still beer in here, so if I tip it, I'm going to pour it on myself.
Damn right, I think. Right.
And I'm old and I can't read anymore, so I can't see anything. So.
We're old in this business. We're old in this game.
There you go. Once you've poured the rest of it, just hold it up to the camera and we'll read it for you.
We'll read it for you.
So yeah, this is my birth month as well.
It's your birth month as well.
No, this is crazy. Tell this story because it's not just Anthony's birth month.
Right.
It's also Roger's birth month, our other partner.
Birthday.
But not only is it the birth month, they actually share the exact same birthday.
Is that
Year
right?
and all?
No year though. No, he's older. Don't tell anybody.
You just did.
He's not here.
Yeah. Same birthday, which is crazy. Both in bands. I met him through my daughter's friend. They had a party, which was basically right around the corner from my house. Okay. And he was talking about being in a ska and reggae band. I go, it's got to be this guy from Bigger Thomas, because we both went to Rutgers. And lo and behold, it was him. About 2 weeks later, we were playing in Orange right here at Hat City Kitchen with our bands. It was really cool.
Nice.
June, milk day. I personally do not drink milk. I do drink lactose IPAs though.
Well, then you drink milk enough. That's close enough.
Well, yeah.
I gotta say, and you'll have to indulge me for a second because there's one thing I forgot at the top of the show.
What did you forget at the top of the show?
It is actually my youngest son's 17th birthday today.
Nice.
There it is.
Nice.
Did he get his license?
He lives in Florida, so he's had his license for over a year now. So he's been driving around.
He lives in Florida, so he's had his license since he was 12.
And a sidearm since he was 9.
Right, exactly.
Nice. That's what it is down there in Florida, right?
But,
it's crazy down there.
So give him a shout out. Give him a happy birthday.
So happy birthday, Matthew.
Happy birthday, Matt.
He's out and eating sushi right now, so he's not watching.
There you go. Well, later on when he watches Dad do his work.
No, he's not.
Up, Dave froze.
All right.
So that
frozen milk day.
Frozen, yeah, exactly. So it must have been all that tempura shrimp he was eating. So, in any event, I'll open my beer while we're waiting for Dave to unfreeze himself. I told the gentleman before, both Anthony and Jeff, I was not able to get my hands on any Four City prior to the show. We had, best laid plans. Dave and I were supposed to hook up over this weekend, but we were not able to.
Yeah.
Mainly because of the weather and a lot of other crap, but the weather was the main thing.
It's all
Dave
good. Just waiting here for you.
Dave just texted me. He says he's got the blue screen of death. I'm not sure exactly what that means. He just texted me.
Shit, yeah.
So we'll find out what that means in a minute. I'm just going to text him back and talk while I'm texting him back, and to let him know that it's okay. He can.
See, for us guys that come from the IT background,
right.
Blue screen of death. That's when your Windows computer just shows the blue screen on there, and you can't do anything other than just reboot and hope it comes back.
I'm just telling him to reboot right now. In any event, okay. So I wasn't able to get any, like I said, best laid plans. So I'm going to be drinking. In honor of World Milk Day, I'm drinking 2 beers with lactose in them. So my first one is going to be Cane Dropping Fruit Pie.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So it's a tart cherry, graham cracker, and what else is in it? And lactose. Tart cherry, graham cracker, and lactose.
I like the combination of something sour and then also something sweet. That's pretty cool.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's an interesting beer, and it actually does taste like a cherry pie, really, with the graham crackers.
Yeah,
you can actually get a lot of the graham crackers in it.
And I like those when you throw the graham cracker in there too, because it cuts this. You got the sweet, you got the sour, and the graham cracker kind of like is just like that neutral, like middle ground. It's just kind of nice.
Exactly. Yeah. It really is. Just got to take the cursory Lager Room guys picture. There we go. For the untapped check-in later. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
While we're waiting for Dave.
Cheers.
Salud.
There you go. Chindan. Oh my God, that it really is. It really is. I'm drinking cherry pie.
Is it one of those? Is it one of those really thick ones?
Not really. No, I mean you could say it. It's not. It's.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice color.
There you go.
Yeah, those really thick, sour beers, the smoothies, I guess that people do.
Smoothies, yeah.
I like those. I like tasting those. I love those when we're like in a share, like when we're all like there's 4 or 5 of us sharing a can of it.
Sure.
I can't drink a whole can. It's just so thick and overwhelming that I can't drink a whole can of it.
It really is. I'll tell you a quick story while Dave reboots and we're talking here. One of the breweries. There's a lot of breweries that are making those smoothies now, but one of them is 450 North in Indiana.
Oh yeah.
And I was on a trip a couple years ago. We were coming down. We hit like it was a 10-day trip. We actually did 50 breweries in 10 days.
Wow.
And we're coming back. It's towards the end of the trip. It was like a Thursday to a Sunday, or I forget exactly what it was, but yeah, something Thursday, Sunday, Friday, Monday, and it was on the Friday of the second week. So trip's winding down, so to speak. We're coming back through Indiana. We're going down to Kentucky, and we stop at 450 North, and I had a few of those. Hey, he's back! Look at that.
Hey, sac passe.
Hey, sac passe napoulet.
There we go. So anyway, I had a few of those while we were sitting there, and they were just so heavy, and we ate too, and they were delicious. Don't get me wrong; there was nothing. They were totally worth drinking them, but they were so heavy that got back in the car, and that hour-and-a-half ride down to Louisville was just And then when we got to Louisville, checked in a hotel, took an Uber over to Against the Grain, had a couple beers, and then it was just whiskey the rest of the night. So had to thin that out with something. So anyway,
liquor after beer, never sicker.
No, yeah. Well, I had to do something. So I had to. I couldn't drink any more beer after that. It was just done. So anyway, I opened mine. What are you drinking there, Mister Rebooted Samurai? We'll call you the rest of the night.
What's popping up now is things reboot onto this computer. Ooh, you shouldn't have seen that. So this is sac passe, right?
There you go.
Right, and this is what the Creole version of wagwan.
Haitian Creole, and basically like a greeting, like hey, what's up, and then napoulet is like I'm burning up. Basically, I'm here, I'm alive, because you're in Haiti and it's super hot. So yeah,
there you go.
It's better to be hot and bothered than to be dead. So it's napoulet, yeah. And
move over to another island, Jamaica. It's wagwan. Move up to an island up here, Staten Island. It's sup.
Island lingo. Yeah.
Actually, you're lucky if you get a sup. Sometimes it's just
head nod.
That's it. Just a head nod. That's it.
And if you know the person, it's dude.
Yeah.
Bruh. Cuz.
Well, dude's more letters than sup, so
Well, yeah, because they're all related on Staten Island, right?
Oh, you don't want to say that. You're going to piss Al off.
Get a half.
No. He'd admit it.
Anyway, so how is that Sac Passe?
This is lovely, and I'm drinking it out of a Pete's Wicked since it's Creole.
There you go.
But it's Haitian Creole. It's not. But it's actually one of the old tarot card glasses they used to make.
Very nice.
Love this glass. I wanted to get the whole set, but you can't get them anymore.
No, you can't. Well, I mean, if you look really hard, you can probably find a few of them. But
so I figured I had to drink this with the shirt I'm wearing today.
Mm-hmm.
Good theme.
Yeah, got a theme going here. This is a little tropical cocktail, right?
All right. So wait. So before you guys interview us,
mm-hmm.
I want to interview you guys.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
How did you guys get into starting your podcast, craft beer? Like where did you guys get your craft beer back?
It was his idea about the podcast.
About everything. Craft beer was actually my idea now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Four City, we invented the 4-pack. You heard about that?
There you go.
Yeah, we invented everybody was doing
it's the
6-pack.
4 City pack. You drop the word city. It's the 4-pack. There you go.
There's actually a brewery up in Rhode Island called Six Pack Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't sell 6-packs though.
They don't sell 6-packs. It's all 4-packs. It's all 4-packs.
Wow.
He's got 6 dogs, so he calls it his 6-pack.
6-pack.
And we've gone through that before too.
Probably
Like, which dog do you like the best, and which beer do you like the best? So there you go.
Yeah, Elliot's my favorite beer up there, but
Exactly. So anyway, well, we've both been in the craft beer business for some time.
longer than it was legal for us.
Longer than it was legal, I think, but is how it goes or whatever. I've been in sales, marketing. Dave has written and
I just drank,
and we've both drank, right? Exactly. In any event, and last year we, like everybody else, sitting around with a lot of time on our hands, said, and at the time he was up in Rhode Island too. He was up in Rhode Island for a year, so we're on the phone one day and it was like, you know what, we're gonna get a podcast going. We've been talking about doing a few things like that for a while, but I was like, let's get it going. Let's go now. I got the time. I'll put it together. You're working from remotely, and we can get this done. And
Nice.
we actually put two podcasts together. There's a sports podcast that we do. Not Dave, myself, and two other gentlemen on Wednesday nights. So,
I don't know dick about sports.
and that's called the Get On With It podcast.
Nice.
But in any event, so that's pretty much how that came down. So yeah,
No, it's great. I think it's great the way way technology is going with podcasts, and we could all, like us, I guess lay people and not entertainers, could do this stuff and get out and reach other segments of people and niche things, and it's kind of fun.
Absolutely is.
Yeah.
Well, we have a blast with it. The stories we've heard,
Oh yeah.
from, and the one thing, and I think I mentioned this to you, Jeff. Unlike a lot of the podcasts where it's got people sitting there going, "Well, I get the mango, the coconut's a little hidden." We're not gonna sit here and do that show because there's so many of them in one. It's boring if you don't have the beer in front of you.
Yeah.
It's I don't want to watch that. So.
Yeah.
John and I determined pretty early on that we wanted to focus on the industry and the stories in the industry.
Right. And
There's some fantastic stories out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are. It's
like
insane.
like our platform step broke the other day with our brewer. Stepped down and broke it. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, but he didn't fall, which was pretty amazing. And now we have a wood frame holding up the top step there. It's pretty cool.
There you go.
So the catwalk broke, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Well, the first step. Yeah, watch the first step. It's a doozy.
The first step. Wait. Well, it depends. The first step up or the first step down?
First step
Down.
Down.
It was bent, and we knew. But
Lovely.
we it's definitely been reinforced.
You've got to call Rick Reed and figure out where he gets his from, because his has taken some stomping
sure.
and a beating.
Well, there's a machine shop right next to Cricket Hill, and they anytime they have any issues, anything that has to do with metal, they're right next door. And
Because we're looking for a stainless steel welder. That's the only thing we can't find. Other welding and stuff, no problem. But stainless steel welding there, because I want to reinforce all the steps.
don't quote me, but I think they'll do that there.
We're going to talk about it. You know a guy? I know this guy over here.
I know a guy. I got a guy. I got a guy.
That guy, he's good with his tools. He starts tomorrow.
Hey, and we actually have a van now, Anthony, so we could actually take the steps off, put them in the van, take them there,
Nice.
and have them do it out there.
Ah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There you go. Yeah, reach out to Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll talk later. But I like I said, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that they do that. So
Nice.
And Samurai, you missed it, by the way. I'm not sure if you know what I was drinking. I'm drinking the cane dropping fruit pie.
Oh yes. Which
So,
which
but
which
that's
flavor?
That would be the tart cherry and graham cracker. So
Had that one. Good.
it's
Sounds
very tasty. You had that one, did you?
You gave me one.
That's right.
Kane's a
So
great
anyway.
brewery. Their Night to End All Dawn series kind of changed the game here for like your outs, and that was
Sure.
very exciting. I remember
Yes.
getting like
Yeah.
3. My cousin lives in Ocean Township, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'll get them for you. I'll get 1." And he goes, "Yeah, I got 3 for you." I was just like, "Yes, we're gonna keep him."
Well, my question is how?
Well, this was years ago. This is when you can actually. There was like they used to line up.
With the lineup, yeah, with the line.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
probably
Yeah, you could-
2014, maybe.
Oh sure, yeah. Well, when you if you got in the line at the right time,
Yeah.
and they depending on the allocations that they had for everybody, you were able to get a few. But since they started the Eventbrite thing, it's almost impossible to get them.
I got
It really is.
two whole sets, like in 16 or 15.
Okay.
I think it's 16. I still have 1 bottle left, so we did 7 of the bottles. And I was always saying, I'm going to sell a full set. I'm going to sell a full set.
Oh, geez.
Now we drank it. We
Yeah,
drank it.
you can't. You don't sell it.
So-
You drink it.
I think it was in 2016. I was at a golf tournament. I'll tell you how good this golf tournament was. They call it a golf tournament, but for some of us, it was just a bottle share on golf carts.
Oh.
You know, the beer
I mean,
that
that's
showed
you
up.
just described every outing that I've been to, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, but this was Sean Kenny was running this one.
Okay.
You've met Sean, and this is how good the beers were. I had to throw my golf shoes away because they were both stained. One was stained with Night to End All Dawn's Coke. The other one was stained with Night to End All Dawn's Coconut.
Beautiful.
I just kept pouring it. Yeah.
You gotta love it.
Were any golf carts harmed during the making of that?
Yeah, actually, yes. They had the 2 heaviest guys going down a hill. On the bottom of the hill, there's a sharp turn. And they took that thing too wide.
Mhm.
The cart flipped over onto its side.
There you go.
There's fluids coming out of it. People are like, oh my God, are they okay? I'm like, I think that's beer. Oh my God, is the beer okay?
Our one of our illustrious producers, Matt, has said, you need an antique guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a guy for the steel. You need an antique guy too. So there you
Well,
go.
Yeah, I got this empty guy.
Get that antique guy. I got an antique guy for you. So anyway, all right. So let's get this rolling then. Now that we're 22 minutes into the podcast.
All right.
Talk to us. Where did you guys? Let's start. Let's back up.
Well, we know where
Jeff, I'll ask
Anthony and Roger met.
Right. So Jeff, where did you go back before that? When did you first start? What was your first craft beer that you ever loved? Not beer, craft beer. What was first?
So all right. So I lived at home for college. So I wasn't a completely poor college student. I could actually hit my parents up for money every now and again.
Right.
So I don't know how or what, but I got into craft beer in college way back when. There was a brewery out of Philly, I believe, called Dock Street.
Dock Street, yeah.
I don't know if they exist anymore, but I haven't heard of them.
Unless they closed in the last year, they were still there.
I haven't, which is crazy because I haven't heard the name since probably in 20 years. But anyway, I had one of their beers. A friend of mine who had a brother or sister in college at Philly or whatever would bring them up every now and again. I went to school in Scranton, out in Pennsylvania, and so that was the first, I think, real craft beer that I had. Okay. And then from there, I don't know, I just developed the taste for better beer than all the crap we were drinking at all of our high school and college parties. And I got into Beck's Dark, and then which wasn't really a craft beer, but it was like, oh my God, this imported German beer was amazing.
Had flavor.
So I got into
it was a beer with flavor. Imported beer with flavor.
Yeah, it had flavor. So I was like, oh my God, this is great. And then growing up in Pennsylvania, Yuengling was like, you drink that instead of water. So everywhere I went out to college, we drank a lot of Yuengling. But then I discovered Yuengling's black and tans.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, you drink a Yuengling lager, it's like, all right, great, we're out tonight, we're just going to drink. But then I got into the black and tans. I got the Beck's Dark. I started drinking Spaten was another one of the beers that I drank a lot of. And so, I love flavorful beers. And then, I don't know, fast forward now, I'm moved out to Jersey and I discovered Guinness and drank a ton of that stuff. And then, I don't know, one day I was at home and my wife and I were going out to do some shopping, and I really wanted to make beer. And we're at Bed Bath & Beyond, and they had a Mr. Beer kit. Sure. I'm sure this is the same story for 700,000 brewers. that they start with the Mr. Beer kit. And I'm like, I want to do this. I want to learn how to make beer. I can do this. So I got the Mr. Beer kit. I made beer, stunk the house up, got yelled at for that for a while. And I made beer, and I wouldn't serve it to anybody. It was kind of terrible. But then that, with my personality, I was like, all right, how do I do this better?
Yeah.
And I just started going down the rabbit hole of Google and just researching. And, then I started making better beer, and I got more equipment. And so anyway, that was probably about 15 years ago when I started that.
You're going to be happy to know that Dock Street Brewing now has 2 locations.
Yep.
Nice.
No way. All right.
Wow.
Now I got to search them out.
I was just at the original location probably 3 years ago. That's what I was going to say. If they, unless they went out last year because of everything, they were still there.
So they're open.
But I'll tell you what, that's like, to me, that's a really cool thing, because I was drinking Dock Street in the early 90s.
Okay.
And a beer that other than unless like Anthony, you've probably never heard of Dock Street before. Like, how many people have heard of Dock Street? Yet they're still around, 25, almost 30 years later after I started drinking. So that's awesome to hear that they still exist.
Yeah. Good pizza there too.
Really nice
at the location. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, again, they're Pennsylvania, so they can do that.
They can do that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, so I did the Mr. Beer kit. I got better at it, and I got a lot of feedback from. Luckily, my friends, didn't pull punches, and a lot of my friends didn't give me this is great. Still down the drain, kind of.
Right. Yeah.
Here,
what's that over there?
Yeah. No, they were honest with me. They're like, it's okay, and then I just like, how do I make this better? So I have 3 principles about brewing beer and how to make it good. And I joke with Roger and Anthony, like, it's not rocket science, and I joke that I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's clean equipment. Make sure your equipment is cleaned and sanded really good.
Number 1 right there.
Number 1, it's good ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Don't overdo your recipes. Like, don't put everything in the kitchen sink in your recipe and muddle it up with too much bullshit. And the number 1 thing that makes your beer is yeast. Good, healthy yeast that just eats through that sugar quick.
Mm-hmm.
You follow those 3 things, it's hard to make bad beer.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
You clean equipment, you follow a good recipe to the T with good ingredients, and you use good yeast.
Yeah.
You're getting good beer.
But there's a lot of breweries that I know that they don't understand that one of those ingredients, it's the biggest ingredient, is the water.
Yeah, water was big.
Yeah. We don't, and I'll tell you what, we just had this conversation with another, I won't name names, but a huge brewery based out of Brooklyn, that's somewhere over in the other half of Brooklyn, if you're familiar with that half of Brooklyn.
Not the first half, the other half.
The other half.
Yeah, I got you.
And we were talking about.
Don't say the name though.
No, don't say the name.
But no, we were talking about brewing and like water, and I was asking them, what they do with their water and their different locations and whatnot. And we were saying, like, we don't, other than filter our water, we don't do anything with our water. Like, we don't have reverse osmosis. We don't treat our water. We use so our beers you taste is basically the water that's coming out of the ground in orange,
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably a testament to why Rheingold was around for so many years and did well.
Sure.
The water's not bad. The water's pretty good.
Yeah, water's a little hard, but it's pretty good, and it's great. We make some good stouts, so it lends well for the stouts. And
New Jersey has good water. New Jersey has good water for beer. Overall, I mean, obviously there's different water in different sections, but overall, globally, in New Jersey has decent water for beer.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not everyone,
exactly.
But I won't name names.
No. What they do with the water is a different story. Okay, but overall, for the most part, New Jersey globally has decent water for beer.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, you can usually tell when the water's off. Every beer's got the same aftertaste.
Yeah. Well, this is true too. That also could be equipment too.
This is true.
So, in any event, all right. So, Anthony, you're bring us up to that point too. When did you? What made you fall in love with craft beer? What beer did you taste that said, "Holy shit, this is the beer I need to drink"?
I'll tell you, I was drinking. I would drink Yinling and think I was super cool, and that was years, in the 90s. But I was working at a restaurant in Montclair, and when you work at a restaurant, you drink after shift. It's like night shift. You gotta have a drink after work.
Shift drink and everything else, sure.
And I would go to this little liquor store, and they always had cool stuff, cool bottles. And I think I was drinking some Rogue stuff, like years and years ago. And I was just like, wow, and I would always be like very, just brave. I'm gonna try this. I don't care. I'm gonna try this. Try that. So I was always like wanting to try like real cool different beers. And then there was like a lull when I did drink a lot of cool stuff. I was just going out and drinking whatever crap, and but then and then I always I'm into reggae music, so I was always drinking like Guinness Stout, and I would get into like Royal Stout and like some of these bigger stouts, the foreign export stout, which is like 7.5%. I like those bigger beers. Royal Stout, is it Trinidadian, I think.
Do you ever have Lion from Sri Lanka?
No,
that's a great stout.
It's a good beer.
Yeah. But they're thick, they're sweet. There's another one too. I just can't remember, but right now. But
while you're thinking that, speaking of island beer, I still remember the beer that I thought I was so cool as shit that I drank. We went on vacation to the Bahamas, and I drank Kalik.
Kalik.
I was like, yeah, I smuggled some back. I was only 18 at the time. Oh, I thought I was cool as shit bringing that stuff back.
Did they tell you where the name of the beer comes from?
No.
When they're it's the I think it's the bells on the cows, the sound it makes.
Kalik.
I don't remember seeing any cows on the damn island, so that's probably made that shit up.
And a good reference for the day it is.
For the day, absolutely. And again, full circle. There you go.
There we go.
Yes. So just trying different beers, and then I started getting into more craft beer. I would say probably in the early 2000s. I linked up with Roger, and then we both were at the party drinking like something real cool and good. Something Founders. So that was kind of our entry level, which awesome beer. Where we connected, with that, and then we started to think of the Brew Council. So the Brew Council had some brewers, and I wasn't even brewing. Had some brewers, had some people in the industry, and we just do bottle shares. We got shirts, and we would show up to brew at the zoo with these shirts. Brew Council. Everybody, who's the Brew Council? Who's the Brew Council? Mm-hmm. So
I actually remember you guys walking around with those shirts at Brew the Zoo.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, poured there a few times.
Yeah. So it was it was really cool. Then we very quickly decided we were going to open up. We had a developer actually here in Orange, because I'm right here in the Valley. Mm-hmm. West Orange meets in the Valley. There's a lot of art and stuff. There's an art community.
Sure.
And we were like, yeah, we're going to open up a pizza beer spot. So we go to this guy with a 1-page business plan. And actually we met at Hat City Kitchen again. And he's like, you guys, what is this? You guys aren't ready. You need more than this, We're like, well, we got it. Right. We got like a sample menu. We're going to have we're going to buy all these awesome beers. So we regrouped, tail between the legs, regrouped. And then we wound up coming back and said, let's open up a brewery. So we're on this road to try to open up this brewery. And, people are like, you got to brew, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. He goes, you cook good. So I was like, all right, let me start brewing. So I never did an extract. I never did a kit, but I was brewing a bag, because I was like, I kind of wanted to control the recipe, Mm-hmm. So I had the ladder with the pole there, and I had the thing hanging from it and squeezing, every last bit of work out of there, and then just boil. And then, of course I have a couple good people that I was able to bounce beers off to, and he'd be like this. So when you're in music, you want people to listen to your demo, right? Mm-hmm. Yo, check out my music. People listen to it. It's cool. That means it's all right.
Yeah.
It's just all right, right?
All right.
Or
how do you spell that? I-A-G-H-T.
Yep.
I put the A. A-I-G-H-T.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, it's all right. So I was like, all right. So the thing for beer that equals I is, what kind of yeast did you use? And I would these amazing brewers that I had access to were like, just try this, try that, and then you give the person that demo, you give them, you hear that song, they're like, yo, this is really dope, right? Mm-hmm. So basically, it's like, it's good beer. That's good beer. And just then, Jeff, we met Jeff. Actually, our children went to the same preschool. So our children we all lived in West Orange at the time. Mm-hmm. Our children went to the same preschool, and I never met Jeff. And you got to meet Jeff. Jeff Gattens. So actually met him. I talked to you briefly at Brew at the Zoo, Jeff.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, we're trying to open this brewery. Me and Roger were trying to do a 15-barrel big. We're trying to raise $1 million, and it was just super daunting. And then all of a sudden, Jeff came along, and then we just kind of joined forces. Jeff wanted to open up like a 2-barrel, so we decided, we've compromised on a 7.
Mm-hmm.
We should have gone, and you were right. We should have gone 15.
We ran out of money. We'll run out of money, but we would have ran out of more money. But whatever.
Yeah.
But,
you're gonna run out of money anyway. Might as well run it out. Quicker than.
Isn't that what Sergio said? Always buy more bigger equipment than you think you need.
Yeah. Amen. So we were like,
so if anybody wants to buy a 7-barrel system, I got one for sale because we want to buy a 15.
So me and Jeff had a rivalry. We were kind of making IPAs and making beers, making saisons and stuff like that, and trying to outdo each other, which made us both better. Which
right.
And here we are. Raising money. We don't play golf, and know somebody with deep pockets, $200,000 investments and everything. So it was real grassroots. We did almost like Shark Tank things where we went to the city, and the beginning of the meeting, these guys don't know anything about craft beer. And then by the end of the meeting, they're like, oh yeah, well, it's the carbonation. Like now all of a sudden you're a friggin' expert. Get out of here. You know what I mean? It's amazing though, but we got beat up. We got beat up a few meetings, but it made us better. It made our presentation better. It made our spiel better, And then again, first people invest, they're like, somebody's got to be on the dance floor. So they got on the dance floor, and then we got a bunch of other people in, and here we are. And
it's crazy. And it's crazy how it all like happened to get to the spot that we're in right now.
Yeah.
So it all came to fruition because of Facebook. There's a Facebook group in South Orange and Maplewood called Soma Lounge. And it's, it's the Facebook, like, hey, I'm selling this. Where do I go for dinner? I just moved here from Brooklyn. What do where should I go? And it's got everything on there. So I wasn't on the group, but apparently this one guy, he posted, hey, is there anybody looking to open up a craft brewery in the area? I want to talk. I'd love to talk to you. So I had a couple friends on it. My ex-wife was on it. So all my friends, these people that I know started tagging my ex-wife on it. She gets in touch with me and puts me in touch with the guy, Andrew Katz, and he's a developer in the city, but also does some stuff in New Jersey. So we meet with him. He shows us this space in Newark, this awesome, like right on Broad Street, this big old Art Deco Bell Telephone building that was amazing.
Jeez,
that they were,
building.
I mean, they were redoing it into condos and apartments, and the first floor was going to be, all retail and stuff. So shows us this 8,000 square foot, space, 2 floors. Oh, he's like, oh, we'll cut the floors out for you. We'll do this. We'll put steps in. We'll put in a lift, an elevator, all this nonsense. And we're, the 3 of us we go see it. We're like, this is great. It looks awesome, but 8,000 square feet. It's a little bit more than we're willing to bite off. Also, we want to be over in Orange, like where we are. We want to be in Orange or West Orange, or like one of the oranges is where we want to be. So that falls through. I don't know, like 3 weeks later, he reaches back out to me and shows me this cut sheet for the space that we're in now. He says, hey, what about this? 14-foot ceilings. Nobody's been in there. It's brand new. And it wasn't his space. It was another developer that he works with, puts us in touch with them. That's where the whole Shark Tank thing comes in. So he sets up this meeting in the city. We go and we meet with L&M developers.
Beers. Jeff had the October.
Oh yeah.
Can.
Oh yeah.
Huge. We would show up.
Yeah. So we had a single canning machine. So we can off a bunch of beers. We go to this meeting, and it was literally like living the TV show Shark Tank. It's us and 10 other guys sitting in a conference room, and they're like, go. And we have a PowerPoint. We have our beers, and we're talking. We're tasting the beers. We're doing this tasting. We're showing them our plan, which sucked, by the way. And but somehow at the end of it, we always say you got to lead with the liquid. So the beer spoke for itself. They loved the beers. They tasted good. And by the end of the meeting, they're debating between themselves now, without us, saying, well, the cleanest way to invest in this, and what if we do this, and if we do this, and what if we give them X amount of dollars for this and X amount. The 3 of us are kicking each other under the table, like, what the hell is going on? Like, holy shit, did we just get funded? Like, it was crazy. but L&M construction developers, they're the ones behind the space. They own the building we're in. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here talking to you guys today.
Awesome.
Yeah, they really believed in us, threw us a bunch of money, gave us a bunch of build out, money and free rent for 10 months. And still, and here we are today, which is amazing.
That's great.
Oh, it's a fantastic space.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's one of those like lightning struck, at the right time, and we just happen to get hit by it.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a beautiful space.
I got to get up there. I kick myself that I still haven't been. But I got to get up there.
Yeah, come on.
Speaking of kick or collect, as you said before, our other one of our producers, Matt, just obviously took care of Googling it and finding out the information. Did his investigation. Here it is. Kalik is the sound of the bells used in the Bahamian Junkanoo.
Junkanoo.
I think it's Junkaroo, actually.
No, it's Junkanoo.
No, it's Junkanoo.
He's right. It's
Junkanoo.
It's not. They are okay. So it's not cowbells. I added the cow.
Kind of Bahamian street parade with instruments. There you go.
Yeah, it's a Pan Caribbean thing too. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was in the Bahamas, speaking of the Junkanoo, I really got into that music for like a hot minute. And
it's cool music.
So
it is.
Yeah, it is awesome, cool music and shit. So, but I'm in this hotel this is pre. What's the big hotel in the Bahamas now? Like the
Atlantis.
The Atlantis.
Yeah.
So this was pre-Atlantis. It was the Merv Griffin Resort.
Yeah.
That's how old.
Right.
Yes, you're right. The Merv Griffin Resort. I remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
So this Bahamian street band comes marching through the resort. It was the Baha Men before they were the Baha Men. Who let the dogs out?
It was the Baha Men?
It was the Baha Men.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy. So
I never heard that story.
Did you hear?
Yeah.
If I could be wrong, but there's a commercial. I guess it's a Bahamas commercial or whatever. But there's they used Lenny Kravitz. I want to get away, whatever the name of Fly. I guess whatever the name of the song is, whatever. It's a Junkanoo version of it. Used in the and it's actually really cool.
And then to bring it full circle on the Baha Men. So I used to be in the recording industry like a million years ago. I was a recording engineer, again, bringing it back to music with the three of us. So I was a recording engineer. I was working on this album for this band called the Foyds back in the mid 90s. Okay. And turns out the guy who was the drummer in that band owned the record label. And then he's the one that signed the Baha Men for Who Let the Dogs Out. And then his brother was an investor in a restaurant right here in South Orange. And I ran into him in a parking lot one day, which again, just crazy how things come into full circle and you run back into people and things.
Man. A big tune.
And of course, Matt let us know Lenny Kravitz spends a few months of the year in the Bahamas on his yacht. So there you go.
As he should.
Why the hell not? Yeah.
Not a bad
right.
Tell you what, when I stayed there, it was so long ago that where my hotel was, just one of the buildings of Atlantis now sits on top of where that was.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the Bahamas once, 4 days. That's the only experience I had in the Bahamas. And we were on diagonally across the whatever bay that was, or whatever, from you could see Atlantis, and it was back on the main whatever.
Yeah.
Now Matt lived in the Bahamas. Was it? I think at one point he said, was it Bimini you lived in, Matt? We'll see. We'll let him answer that.
We'll let him answer. I believe.
I think it was Bimini. Yeah.
Like a smaller island, right? Bimini.
Yeah, it was one of the small islands.
He'll be answering any second now.
Yeah, any second. He's got a little bit of a delay from us, but now Anthony, you went and poured yourself another beer.
Yes, I did. I don't know what the time crunch is, so I had that Citrus City. It was great.
As long as we're having fun, there's no time crunch.
I went off style because I'm going to come back to another IPA, but Renaissance de Monde.
You mean this beer here?
Beautiful Belgian triple. You have it. Yes. So we can toast this one.
That's what I started with tonight. It's a good beer, and
I love it. It's the yeast. It just there's not really much other than the yeast that's really giving it that awesome flavor. You get that banana, beautiful color, 9%.
The last time I was at the brewery, Jeff and I had a discussion about the yeast.
About 8.5 actually. Yeah. So we talked about the yeast. We got the guy Jasper down in Virginia.
Jasper.
Jasper's yeast.
Jasper yeast. And Saison, triple, wit, we can't miss with the Belgian stuff. It's just
no, he's I'll tell you, he's knocking it. And that's the thing, like, I don't know, maybe educated craft beer people know. I mean, the brewers obviously know.
John.
Oh, it smells great.
Oh, it's really nice.
Fantastic.
We have smell-o-vision here. It's fine.
Brewers obviously know. What one of the things that I wanted to do, and we haven't done this yet. We've done, everybody, the haze heads and the haze boys love the hops, and
Sure.
different hops, and you got a mosaic hop, and you got a citra hop, and you got a Simcoe hop, and you got a Nelson, and they'll do these like one-off beers and like really showcase the hops in it. So, and I've had this idea since before we were open, and we just haven't done it yet, just because one of the reasons we don't have the tank space to do it at the moment. But I want to do the same beer, same hops, different yeast, and I want to show people how much the yeast really plays a part in that beer. More so, if not more so than the hops do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, we do the grunt work of making the beer. We mash it, we boil it, we transfer it, we put it in a fermenter. The yeast does the heavy lifting. I mean, that's where the flavor, that's where the beer, if you don't have healthy yeast or you're not pitching enough or whatever, I mean, that's the bulk of the work is the yeast. I mean, we're just the grunts, moving the shit around.
Agreed.
And I think the name of this beer.
This Belgian triple is Renaissance du Monde.
Yep.
Renaissance du Monde. This is actually a collaboration with Harlem Blue and Harlem Hops in Harlem, New York, and St. Cassius, which is a rapper. So it was like a bunch of people in on this. We did a lot of filming, a lot of promotions, very super cool artwork, which was done across the river there.
Very
Super
nice.
cool Harlem-esque, Harlem Renaissance. So we're calling it a Harlem triple. It's just our take on
Harlem triple.
It's not a style. Well, now it is.
Well, it is now.
Hey, new styles get born on every minute now.
Absolutely.
So, we're gonna enter this in a couple of competitions and stuff like that. Even the Saison is just amazing. We want to enter that. A couple other IPAs coming up.
Yeah, Matt, we got to get into a beer share, and I'll bring one of these cans here because Matt is our Belgian beer whore.
All right, nice. I'd like to know what he says.
Yeah, and get you some feedback on that. But like you said, you get some banana esters, a little bit of apple esters, some peppery phenols out of it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we discovered this. We discovered Jasper yeast, guy through our relationship that we used to have with Hoboken Brewing. When the pandemic hit, you got Hoboken, who was a gypsy brewing that doesn't have a brewery, and those guys kind of were like, oh shit, now what? And so they came and we partnered with them. We did some contract brewing for them for a while it was slow enough for us because we're small. We're small and we're a small space. We can't really do true contract brewing, but for most of the pandemic, we didn't have to be blasting out a ton of beer. So we had the tank space for them. So we had a nice partnership with them, and we were doing we're doing stuff with them. They get most of their yeast from Jasper, where they contract brew down in Virginia. We tried a couple of his, strains to do like our hazy IPAs and stuff like that. And we weren't really impressed with it, but his Belgians, the dude's like on the money with those things. His Belgian yeasts are insane.
That Saison.
I was just drinking it today out of the tank. I tasted some. I was telling our brewer, we just
hold on. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah. And
I wonder where he's going.
Yeah. Right. So we
pour off the bright.
I was telling our brewer, we just actually finally, Anthony and I were doing all of the brewing for the past year. We finally just hired a head brewer to take over for us so we could actually continue running the business and not having to get up at 5 a.m. and go in there and brew every day.
You don't like that.
But I was telling our brewer today, I went over and I sampled some of the Saison. The Saison might be my favorite beer that we've ever brewed.
Okay.
it's it's the yeast is that nice in it. It's just a smooth, nice. And we were talking about this when you were up the other day. It doesn't have that it's got enough earthy funk saisoniness to it, but it's not like that overpowering. Like I think anybody could drink this saison and enjoy it. It's that nice.
Yeah, Jeff was nice enough to give me a little pour off the bright to give a taste of it, and it's really.
Is that what you're
really
drinking there,
good.
Anthony?
Yeah, it stays on.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, we got a little pressure on. It's carbon up a little bit. We do some natural carbonation, and then we finish it off, forced carb. But it's not because they start to really, we save money on CO2 as well. But they start to, they develop in condition. Yeah,
that's a smaller bright. That's our using a fermenter as a bright for.
It's
most all of our tanks are uni tanks. So we only have one bright tank. It's a big 15. It's a bigger 15 barrel bright. So. Right. We do most of our stuff in the tank that the beer was made in.
Yeah, you crash the tank.
Yep.
What's really neat is Anthony was talking about the artistry of the can. And John, when you get to go to the brewery, they've got art all over the place. Now these are local artists.
Yeah.
That you got up there. They all have numbers.
And
behind the hostess desk there is there's some pages there. You look up the number, tells you what it was, who did it, and the price for it. They're all for sale, right?
Yes. Yep. Except for one that Jeff bought when our first installment is a guy named Mehdi. Amazing artist. He does like these really heavy resiny, gloss, shiny types of abstract art. Amazing piece that when you first walk in. So that's the only one that's not part of that.
Gotcha.
Installment, which is the Black Lives Matter. They did a big mural and
right.
In Manufacturers Village, which is in East Orange. So 4 City, East Orange, West Orange, South Orange, and Orange. 4 cities. So East Orange did a Black Lives Matter whole thing. So the can art, wrong one, but the can art for that one incorporates a little piece of each artwork that's on the wall. And I was even thinking like maybe we could do like a scavenger hunt, like find out like the bee is in the artwork, and it's really cool.
That's a good idea.
I don't know how we could do that though, but I think I might get a little crazy. It's like Pokemon. I might get crazy in here, Yeah. Hey, get off the table.
Tell you what, I think my favorite pieces in there, those the woodwork ones.
Yeah.
So the reason I had to buy that photo, that piece of art. Mm-hmm. So this picture. I don't know if you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
That picture was taken by somebody, a friend of ours. Like the night that was the night we had just done, like we got our license, we got approved. This was like I think we did a soft opening, and this was the night before like opening day. Right. Wow. So the three of us are just sitting there like, let's sit down, guys, and just have a beer and take this all in for a minute. And that picture behind us there was the picture in the shot. Wow. And I'm like, I can't let that thing go.
You can't.
So
you have to get that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did Terry take that? Do you know?
I think Terry did take that picture.
Terry Body. He's actually from Nevis. Talking about the Caribbean. He lived across the street from me, and years ago, everybody moved from Harlem everybody, his whole family. So, and I became friendly with them right away. And he curated the first few installments here for probably about a year. He's a professor at Hunter, NYU, a bunch of colleges, Stony Brook. And just a great guy, amazing photographer. He's got a lot of pieces, some of the best art installments I've ever seen were right here in Orange and West Orange, which is pretty crazy.
Nice.
So yeah, big shout out to him.
Absolutely. We got a comment here. John Stepakura said, "Care to share the highlights of the saison recipe? Any tips? Underpitch?" Put you on the spot. No, you don't.
You are not required to answer
John,
that.
Stop up at the brewery and have a beer and chat a little. And there we go.
Come up to the brewery, John. I'll give you the recipe.
There you go. There's your in, John. But anyway, so all right. Well, since you guys have opened your second and third beers, but at that point, I'm going to open my second one. Again, it's got lactose, and it's from Vault Brewing.
I'm only on my second.
Oh yeah.
Vault Brewing over
where's Vault?
Vault is in Yardley, Pennsylvania. It's on the other side of the Delaware from Ewing.
And back to full circle. Good pizza.
Good pizza. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hungry.
Damn you,
Was
Pennsylvania.
was just there a week and a half ago. My daughter graduated TCNJ, and that's where she wanted to go for dinner after she graduated. She wanted to go to Vault Brewing. So
You trained her
You
well.
raised her well, yeah.
absolutely. So it's Fat
The
Tail.
oldest one, on the other hand.
Yeah. No. She does.
No,
like,
I'm not talking to daughters.
I know what you mean. So, in any event, it's a Fat Tail. It's peanut butter. It's a peanut butter s'mores stout.
Is there lactose in it?
Yes, there is stout with roasted peanuts, cacao nibs, vanilla, and lactose. Here, I'll throw the banner up right there, and I will pour it.
A lot of cows in here. A lot of cows.
A lot of cows.
Oh, I'm hearing click.
There we go.
Phil Kalicki.
How do we get such a cow-themed show with Al Bolero on?
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. We'll have to. Scott, if you're listening to the show, I'll send you the link if you want to.
Yeah, just call
No,
him.
I'm kidding.
Big
No,
shout
he's not listening.
out. Those guys
He's
are
not
awesome.
listening.
Happy for them.
No, Scott's great.
Yeah, happy for those
You
guys.
guys are good guys.
They just,
Absolutely.
it's an amazing facility, and I'm glad to see that they have a place to call their own now. You know what I mean? And they went massive.
They did.
When they were designing that facility, I told Scott they needed to, every 4 feet, put a fire extinguisher.
Every 4 feet.
Every 4 feet. They needed to overdo it. Thanks to the urban legend.
I like
yeah.
I like the fact that
Absolutely.
I like the fact that their cold room is as big as our brewery.
Right. Their cold room is as big as a lot of breweries. It's not just yours. So.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? Kudos to them. But the show's not about them; it's about you. So, talk to us about a couple of your upcoming releases. Anything interesting? I know you mentioned the lager before. What do you got going on?
We've got some fun stuff in the works. Our 2-year anniversary is coming up in August that we're super excited about. It's huge. We're doing something big this year. We're doing so last year we did 4 beers.
4 City.
For Four City, obviously. We definitely ride on the 4 theme. This year we're doing 4 collaborations.
4 packs.
Nice.
And we've got some really super awesome surprises in the collaboration lineup this year. And that's all, super awesome, huge.
Please tell me it's not the dead center of August, because from the 9th to about the 14th, I'm going to be in Maine.
I think it's going to, so our true anniversary is on the 24th. Because that falls on a Tuesday, we're going to do the following weekend, the 28th.
I'll be back.
So, yeah.
I'll be on my way to Denver.
You're
invited. So that'll be our anniversary weekend.
Yeah.
And that week.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're trying to really do it. We didn't have a first anniversary,
Yeah.
All we have was the release. And the beers were amazing. Segue from that, Hedison's Medicine. So Hedison's Phonograph. Let me grab a can.
Wait.
Not going to drink it.
There are anniversary beers right there.
This guy.
Those 5 right there, 4 or 5 right there.
A few back there.
Gotcha. So there's 4 collabs, 4 different collabs, 4 different breweries.
4 different breweries we're doing. It should be. I think people will be excited about all of them. They're really, really awesome. Breweries that we're good friends with.
Local to you, just in Jersey, out of the state.
Let's say one of them is out of the state that we know for sure. 2 of them are out of the state.
Two are out of the state.
Yeah.
So,
now
good fun. It's gonna be fun.
Now all 3, Jeff, Anthony, Roger, you all play in bands.
Yes.
Will any of you be playing during the celebration?
Yes. So I think we're all gonna play.
Nice.
So Roger's band, big shout out to Roger. The Rudy Crew. So Bigger Thomas was the original band back Rutgers days. I think he opened up for Tribe Called Quest in like '89 and De La Soul at City Limits in Trenton, which was a big hardcore place. But for that one, the ska, ska can kind of go either way. Ska can play with punk bands or hardcore bands, and then you can play with hip hop and reggae bands. So it's easy to book a ska band. Back then too, it was bigger. Ska's hanging in there. So his band, Bigger Thomas, was they were doing their thing, and then now they're still kind of around. They formed Rude Boy George. It's like an offshoot of Bigger Thomas, and that's they play 80 songs in a reggae and ska style. So it's pretty cool. So it's Rude Boy.
Cool.
It's really
That's cool.
awesome.
And then
it's
boy,
so much fun.
He's super cool, super fun. You know, it's not like a regular cover band. You know, it's you know. Then I have two bands. I have a reggae and ska band called the Rudy Crew. I had another couple other bands. I'm an MC, so I do hip hop and reggae. So, and I produce. So that's why I was called Juggler. You know, it's like the lyrical juggler, right? I was originally the lyrical juggler. I dropped the lyrical. Now I'm just Juggler because I do all these things. But I got older. You know, as we, you know, every year you get a little older.
No, but
Now I'm Jugwise. So Jugwise.
Got older, got wiser.
There's two jugglers. There's one in Jamaica and one in England. So I had to there's too many juggling going on. So
Better than Jughead, I guess, right?
There you go.
Yeah. So Rudy Crew, and I have a hardcore band also. We do actually do some Rage Against the Machine, some covers, and we're playing June 12th. Actually, we're playing June 12th. First time we played in forever. Just to get back into it. And it looks like everything's going to be open completely. You know, not everybody. We thought everybody's going to be sitting at tables. So I don't know how you sit at tables and
listen to ska.
Listen to Rage. Yeah. You know, Rage Against the Machine. So that's the Rage hardcore band. And then Jeff, go ahead.
So I've been playing with these two musicians that I've been in bands with since 1997. You know, Cynthia and JP. They're married couple. But JP is our guitar player. He's actually, if you if you're familiar with the band The Strokes,
sure.
So the Strokes' first album, he was their guru / producer. So if you open up the album cover in there, you'll see his face on the album cover. Oh, wow. I've been playing with him for a billion years before he knew The Strokes, and we have a jazz band together, and he's amazing. His guitar playing is sick. We're just like me and everyone else in the band are some shitty musicians behind him, just keeping him alive. But his guitar playing is amazing. He's got a very big rockabilly background, but not like Brian Setzer rockabilly, but like the stuff that influenced the guys that influenced Brian Setzer, like old rockabilly stuff. And so that's his background, and he's amazing. And so we play jazz. We do this old time swing jazz. That's not like, it's not that kind of out there, you have to think jazz. It's just fun, swing 4/4 jazz. You could dance to it and have a good time. Yeah. It's so much fun. So I think all three of our bands have played there. My band probably hasn't played the longest because Cynthia, who's our bass player and does some singing, she opened up a bakery over in Brooklyn. And so she's been tied up over in Sunset Park. She opened up a small little bakery over there. So she's been tied up with that a lot. So, and then COVID hit, and that kind of screwed everything.
So you'll definitely see our bands at the anniversary. Try and do some big thing, couple DJs, and we commandeer maybe this parking lot across the street from us, or the street. So that'll be really fun.
Take over the whole train station.
Why not?
So listen, Four City Brewing, you get off Orange, stop. I think it's the fourth stop, Four City. Mm-hmm. Step in the four.
Yeah, New Jersey Transit, by the way.
New Jersey Transit, the Morris Essex line. Yeah, so it's Sea Caucus from New York Penn, and then Newark Broad Street, and then Brick Church, and then Orange. Boom. So
two stops after Newark Broad Street.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The Midtown Direct. There's a Midtown Direct, which is a little faster. Sometimes if you get a local, you might have to stop at East Orange. That's the only other one you would have to stop at is East Orange. We're close. It's a quick ride. It's about 30 minutes from the city. So hop skip.
The only problem is when you get off the train, it's downhill. So after you've done all your drinking, you've got to stagger up the hill.
There you go.
It's worth it.
Of course.
Speaking of that, literally right next door. So yeah, you got a small. A grade, a little bit
of a grade. There you go.
But what helps though is the return train to the city. You're on the right side of the tracks.
True.
Oh yeah,
you don't go around. You're good.
You at least that you're on the right side when you leave the brewery.
And
always a plus.
It's literally a stone's throw. So I mean, it's not a walk. It's not near the station. It's at the station. So super convenient, and you can safely drive. You don't have to drive, so you can safely get here and drink. We actually, it's really cool. Every now and again, I'll meet people in the brewery that come the other direction. So I met a couple this weekend actually that came the opposite direction. They came from out in Denville, Summit. They were out west. They actually took the train to us
because they're like, yeah, we don't want to drive. So
Yeah.
like, we want to have a good time. So they actually took the train in, didn't have to worry about driving, got some food in the neighborhood and hung out for a few hours. It was great.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I could talk about a beer real quick, guys. You get into something else? Let me know.
Yeah, one second. I just want to say, John Stepakura said deal on that. He'll come to the brewery and
Nice.
give him the recipe. And Gene Lynch, our buddy Gene, said, wow, those bands all sound amazing.
Oh,
so
geez. He's got it. He's got his picture up there with him wearing the pretzel necklace.
He's got his pretzel necklace on. There you go.
Nice.
I'm still a rookie at beer festivals. I look at people with those pretzel necklaces. I'm thinking they're so awesome and they're so smart, and I still don't wear it, and I get hammered at every beer festival.
I have. You know what? They don't do anything for you.
No.
I once.
I just need to eat something.
Gene laughed. There you go.
I need to eat something.
Once I did a necklace. I did a pretzel necklace. And by the way, if you do a pretzel necklace, make sure you get the unsalted pretzel necklace. Right? No
I
salt
want to
on
do.
it. Right.
I mean, I'd rather. I mean, just because I had them tonight for dinner. So we've got this. I want to do a bratwurst necklace.
Necklace. There you go.
That's
a different story.
Like that would be the way to go.
Completely different. Yeah, it's a whole new ball game there.
We have a farmer that picks up all of our spent grain from us, and in return, he brings bratwurst and chorizos and sausages and ground beef, and every now and again
big plug.
Yeah,
Common
Sense Farms. Yeah,
awesome stuff.
writing that down right now.
The only thing that a pretzel necklace is really going to do is help you clean your palate. Between beers.
True.
It's really it. Yeah. It's not what are 20 or 25 little tiny pretzels going to do to, soak up all the beer you're drinking at a beer fest.
Yeah.
I was at a beer fest. I was pouring at a beer fest down in Florida with one of the breweries from up here, and I won't say the name because that would be one. That'd be one. We can't say it three times.
Say it three times.
No.
We'll tell you later if you don't know.
We'll tell you later. Another running joke on the show, but. This couple came up. They both had 2 pretzel necklaces and a pizza pouch.
Oh, a pizza pouch.
A necklace with this hard plastic triangle shape where you could put a slice of pizza.
Sorry if you guys can hear the train.
That's right.
No, we heard it.
Is that by you or by the brewery?
No, I'm at home. The train is actually closer to my apartment than it is the brewery. Or it might be about the same distance, except my windows are open tonight. So.
Hey, listen, if it's coming east, it's going to blow.
We'll be hearing this soon.
That's good. Well, I'm only 2.5 blocks from the train tracks in Belmar. So
nice.
So if I had my windows open, you'd have probably heard it about twice already. So. But anyway.
Yeah. Mark that train up to things you don't realize until you move into an apartment.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely.
It looks like me, you're in a basement apartment.
No, I'm actually on the second floor. I got nice views. The windows are great.
It's not that window.
No, just that window is a piece of shit.
Awesome neighbors.
Well, half of that window's blocked by cans, though, Dave.
Was that sarcasm, Anthony?
No, my neighbors are great.
Good.
Okay, salted earth.
One of these days, we'll have to do a whole podcast of my neighbor upstairs in Rhode Island.
Oh, we got to do something for him.
Yeah, the Centaur. That's a whole other story. Anthony's trying to talk about a beer. We keep stepping all over him.
I know, right?
Talk about the beer, and then we'll get to our top threes, Anthony. Go ahead.
All right. I was going to talk about this beer.
Edison's Medicine?
Phonograph.
Edison's Medicine. He's been talking about that since we got on the podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jeff was talking about, using different yeasts, and, this is also fun. I think the East Orange project represent East Orange. This is our West Orange kind of nod to Edison's laboratory, Edison's museum. So he invented the phonograph. We have him doing a little cutting and scratching right here. He's doing his thing, So
his movie theater is right up up a couple blocks and down the road, right?
Yeah,
less than.
It's right at the museum and the laboratory, and it's really kind of cool. Yeah,
very cool. It's actually really cool. It
is.
The They Might Be Giants has a song because the Edison Museum was closed for 20 years. It's oldest mausoleum or something like that. It's hilarious. It's on a kid's album, and it's called the Edison Museum. It's a song. It's hilarious. So Edison's phonograph is super fun. It's single hop, same grain, same yeast, same water. This one happens to be volume 3. We have it right now on tap. very limited supply of cans. We're almost running out. Volume 3, Citra. I made that as a home brew, and I used to use Mosaic a lot. We're up to Volume 7. So in order: Mosaic, Cashmere, Citra, Minervino, Bavaria, Nelson, Cascade, and then Sabro, and the train.
Oh, you just said John's favorite word.
Well, now he's got me coming to the brewery, so
yeah, because Sabro is his favorite.
For the last couple months, I've been a big whore for Sabro. So,
so on the label, we had a little thing coming out of his mouth that said Sabro.
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 Sabro, bro.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
So what I'm drinking right now is my last.
You guys have to
beer.
excuse me for 1 second. Be right back.
My last beer here is Hedison's Medicine. So this is for our anniversary. We did a bigger Hedison. We did a multiple hop Hedison, which was super fun, and we kicked it up a notch. 9%. Most of the Hedison's phonographs are 8%. This big dude is 9%. This is the second time we made it.
Okay.
This one was the anniversary beer, and then we made it again because everybody was asking for it. It's our highest rated beer. Just an amazing, super hazy IPA. Strata, which is a great hop, and then Mosaic and Citra. So Mosaic and Citra Cryo. So I'm the finisher. Jeff brews most of the beers from scratch, from the beginning. I help out in all aspects, but I'm the finisher. I'm the puree guy, the hop guy, the yeast. I source the ingredients. So it was fun because Strata was hard to get, and as soon as I found jumped on it.
We're like the Lennon McCartney.
Yeah.
The what is it? The Topin and Elton John.
Barry Topin and Elton John.
We need it's without either of us. You got
it's not the same. It's not the same. Absolutely.
We're a team. It works. Mm-hmm. So jumping on different hops that we can't always get. And buying them. Much to Jeff's chagrin sometimes. Jeff, I spent $2,000 today. $2,000.
I know. I happen.
It's going to be a great beer. I promise you.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. How big a batch are we doing? Just 2 barrels.
I have to do all the financial stuff also, so I get to see a lot of the bills, and I'm trying to keep us in check financially. So
we'll have to charge $75 a 4-pack. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
so,
it's all good.
It's
all good, man.
My last beer, Hedison's Medicine. That's the night, the 9%.
That's the night, the 9%. Yeah, this vault I'm drinking is 9.5%.
I'm going to join you in one of those. I happen to have one in my fridge.
Go for it.
Is this the one that has the Sabro in it?
No. This is the Hedison's Medicine.
Volume 7 was the Sabro one. We won't come back to that one for a bit. I think the next one might be El Dorado, Volume 8, which is super exciting. We have at least an authentic Hedison in a while, like a new one, yeah.
There you go. Well, I think my third beer will help us segue into the threes if we're ready for that, John.
I think you should.
Because my third, that's the last one I've got, and it's the whole reason we first came to the brewery was this one.
Nice.
Oh, nice. I don't have any of those chilled. I got a 4-pack sitting right in front of me.
And I just love what you did with the label.
Yep.
So the miseducation of floral hops.
There you go.
Looks like a famous record label cover.
A little bit.
From South Orange.
And she is.
Four Cities.
Welcome to Four Cities.
One of these days, I'm gonna get the balls, and I'm gonna drive up to her house. And I'm gonna drop a 4-pack off.
Drop a 4-pack right on. There you go. John Stepper just said Sabro and Brew One are a great combo. He said.
Nice. Yeah, Brew One. We haven't worked with it, and I'm excited. Plus, it's like brah, brah. Yeah.
So it's not Bra One, it's Brew One. So.
I know, but it's still. I spell bra. If I say bra in a text,
BRU, yeah.
BRUH.
Yeah, bra.
But bra, it's still bro. Because I say bro every other word. I'm from Bloomfield.
I usually, by the way, I usually hate every beer that I brew. This Hedison Medicine is sick.
In search of pixie dust. See, me and Jeff, we call this thing pixie dust. It was like that sizzle, that amazing hop like dance, and I don't know. It was like something that was like evasive, like some of the other breweries that we emulate or try to brew some.
Smell, like you smell a treehouse, you smell a Trillium, you smell another half, you smell Abyssal Brothers, like those hazies that they do,
Sure.
and you just smell it. And we're like, man, they're like we would say like they're putting some kind of pixie dust in there.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's some beers that I'll just literally I'll smell them for 5 minutes before I even take my first sip because it's so ridiculously good.
That's how I am with this. Like, there's so many beers that I'd rather smell it than drink it sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Now this Laurel hops, we had a guest on the show who just loves Laurel hops. That was PJ.
PJ Wendell, Ross Brewing.
Ross Brewing.
Oh, nice.
Great
yeah,
beer.
bunch of their beers have Laurel hops in it.
Nice.
So describe Laurel hops to us. How do you characterize it?
Laurel's cool with the Citra. Jeff, you want to take this one?
Yeah, Laurel. There's an earthiness to it.
Earthy.
Yeah,
that's earthy's the word for Laurel. That's
I don't think you could do a Laurel hop by itself. I think it would be too overpowering and a little too pungent or like earthy. Right. I think that Citra helps cut it a little bit, but it gives you that earthy, piney
little floral
taste, floral there. That is interesting. It adds a little. I mean, I don't know. It adds some character to it.
Little forest floor going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
Well, the reason we were talking about the segue into our top three, is because it stems. We picked this. We wanted to do music since all three of you are in bands.
Mm-hmm.
First time at the brewery. We talked to Roger.
I've got two top threes for you today, by the way.
There you go.
Oh, there's supposed to be three of them.
So he's got a top six.
We got the top six.
So he's got, but and Dave, you and I have also dabbled in music.
Yeah, we have a tendency. Well, yes, John actually was in a band. I was in a band that never actually ever made it to stage. Did a little open mic night stuff. I have a tendency to be able to learn a few songs on bass every now and then. Other than that, I'm not one of those that pick up the bass and go, okay, yeah, I can just play. Give me the key. Not that talented. Right. John's a lot more talented than I am. With keyboard, electric guitar, bass guitar.
Nice.
Do you play?
That's about it.
Okay.
Some wind instruments, but we'll leave them alone.
And he sings every now and then. Well, yeah, I started off as a trombone player.
There you go.
Nice.
But first time at the brewery, we're sitting in the brewery, Carrie and I, and the music's going.
Speaking of Carrie, by the way, she needs more miseducation, she said.
We got to come.
We were just there. You could have picked some up. She wasn't paying attention. But she had asked Roger who does the playlist. So he starts talking about how he curates the playlist, that it's a feel for the tap room.
Yeah.
The ambiance in the tap room. He really started to go on about how the more comfortable someone is at a tap room, the feel that you can put in there, and the way the music can put you into a particular mood.
The vibes.
It's all about the vibe.
It's all about the vibes. We got good vibes here.
Yeah, like I said, it's not just about when you're in the tap room. It's not just about the beer.
Right.
And
well,
John
listen. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the tap room. I always say this: a brewery is three businesses. You got a production facility, you got a retail facility, and then you got a wholesale facility. And that tap room, that's the hospitality industry, and it needs the full circle of everything. The beer's got to be good, the feel's got to be good, and the music's got to be good. I don't want to just turn on 90s alternative or classic rock or hip hop or whatever. Like there's sometimes that these breweries don't put thought into that. Like we put thought into the beer, the visual with all the artwork and the feel and the music.
Yeah.
So I think I've never Shazammed more in one place than sitting in your tap room, because it's not only do you guys play really great music, there's such a great groove to it as well, but it's also bands like, are those the Beasties? Hold on a second, because you're also playing deeper cuts.
Yeah.
Of some of these bands, like you mentioned the Strokes earlier, and it's like, that's a stroke. That was the Strokes.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh yeah. No, there's some deep cuts that and all three of us will add to the playlist. Like I'll hear something, I'm like, dude, Roger, add this to the playlist. And it's it's some like weird, it's like some deep Stroke song that you're like, this is an 80s song. You're like, nope, that's a Stroke song from like 5 years ago. Yeah.
But so I don't know if you guys like this thought or not, but when I think about your brewery, because the conversation you and I had, Jeff, in the conversation we had with Roger, your brewery and music to me, one and the same. So
Bruzik. It's Bruzik.
Bruzik, there you go.
You heard
Oh, I
that
like
Bruzik.
that.
Well,
I like that.
I'm
There you
the
go,
pun guy.
Bruzik.
I'm the pun guy, but every single pun I made up came out. So years ago. I came up with the Brewtang Clan that came out. Then I was like Leaders of the Brew School. I was literally gonna get Dinko D from Leaders of the New School to come here, and then Roger just sent me like 2 weeks ago. He sent me a thing and somebody has Leaders of the Brew School. I was like, no, you know.
But John will tell you earlier. Because we have to decide what the top threes are, so you guys know ahead of time, so you can be prepared. So John's pushed me for it, and last night I told him it's got to be music related. It has to be music related. We'll figure it out, but it's got to be music related.
It's a great beer. So also my daughter used to hang out with Lauryn Hill's kids sometimes. The Marley, they're Marleys. So same preschool that I met Jeff, and his wife and kids back in the day. They're Lauren's nephew, because she only has one sibling, went there, and he actually threatened my son because my son was like 2 years old. He was like 5. It was hilarious. Just little kid stuff. And but it's funny because fast forward years, later, my daughter's like 15, 16. She's 19 now. And she's hanging out with the Marleys. Like, yeah, I'm hanging out. I'm going to be at Lauren's house. I'm just like, what? So I drive up to the cul-de-sac, and I'm just like, and I see a Mercedes, and it says Steven. And I'm thinking, oh my God, if that's Stephen Marley, I was like, starstruck, but she said it. She didn't say him there. She says that's not Steven's. I was just like, oh my God, very crazy.
That's funny.
But yeah, deep cuts all the time. The Beastie Boys, that mix-up album, you think it's like some gritty funk stuff from from the 70s or something like that, and it's friggin' the Beastie Boys, R.I.P. Adam Yauch. We did a tribute to him 5 years in a row in Brooklyn. My band played twice. We actually did a song with DMC. We did It's Tricky live with my band. DMC was like, can you play a couple songs with me? Like asking us, because we got off stage. So fast forward 2 years after that, we went again, and Chuck D. They said Chuck D. might come around because Prophets of Rage was doing the show. So it was Chuck D, Be Real from Cypress Hill, and the rest of Rage. We're doing that Prophets of Rage tour, and I was like, all right, Chuck D. This will be the ultimate. If we could do Bring the Noise Anthrax version with Chuck D. So he's there. I'm backstage. My friend gives me the segue. This is the guy I'm telling you about from the Rage cover band, right? And Chuck D's like, no, that would have been it, And he was just like, yeah. I said, yo, we could play. We play some songs. He was like, yeah, just like that, right? And then I was like, all right. So then the last ditch effort, I was like, I gotta say it to him. I said, look, if we play Bring the Noise, we're gonna kill it. Bring the Noise Anthrax version. What do you think? He's like, nah, I got a pre-made set. I was like, but
you had to try. I tried.
Hey,
you had to try.
Gotta try it.
So let's 100% of the shots you don't take don't go in.
Don't go in. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So top threes. Top three. So we decided on.
And forth, and we finally came up with. Mm-hmm. And I'm very interested to see how John worded it.
Top three musicians that have left this world that we wish we could have had a beer with. How's that?
We had so many different iterations of how to word this. Mm-hmm. I want to go with top three musicians who joined the choir Invisible. Visible is a Monty Python reference.
It's a Monty Python reference, yeah, exactly.
Monty Python's awesome.
So, we didn't think we just wanted to go with,
croaked.
Yeah, exactly. But I thought this was the best. Top three musicians that have left this world that we wish we could have had a beer with. There you go. So why don't we start with Jeff? We'll start with you.
All right.
Because you say you have two top threes. So
I've got two, because there's two directions there's two directions that you could go with this if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
So there's the direction that, being a musician, that I want to sit down with these musicians and like kind of have a beer and pick their brain, mm-hmm. and just see where they were coming from and how they did what they did.
Right.
So Tom Petty.
Okay.
Nice.
Prince.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
And I can't say I still want to pick Elvis, because he's not Elvis isn't like didn't write stuff, but Elvis was crazy good at what he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just being able to sit down, like, in a normal, like just one-on-one environment, like picking their Tom Petty, especially Prince, like masters at what they do, but completely different ends of the spectrum.
Sure.
And then, throw Elvis in there at a different end of the spectrum too. Then if you want to go crazy, then there's the three that I'd want to sit down and I'm having a party with them. Keith Moon.
Oh God, yes.
Janis Joplin.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And then I want to talk to Ike Turner because I just want to find out like what the fuck was he thinking?
What was he thinking after he was drinking a lot?
What are you thinking,
Oh
dude?
man.
Why are you such an asshole? That's what I want to be.
You're definitely, you're like enabler. You're adding to his alcoholism. That probably caused.
Jeff's already won the list.
There you go. That's it. We're done. All right. Have a nice night,
Right.
folks. There you go.
But
All right.
we'll let Anthony go next.
Anthony.
You want to shot the title?
Yeah, go for it. Try and top that.
Yeah, I'm tough. I'm tough because I'm the obscure guy. I'm the at all like the Afrobeat stuff, the Budos band, Antibalas, Fela Kuti, like all that stuff that you hear here is that's like my little input. Afrobeat, I love. I came up with a subgenre called Raprobeat. So basically, I made some beats that were made from Afrobeat Foundation, and then we rap on them. So Raprobeat. Also made up another genre called Yard Hop, which is you go a yard is in Jamaica, you say it's yard. So I came up with Yard Hop, right? It was a mixture of hip hop and reggae, which I love because I love hip hop, but I like when it has a message. I love when
And you made a milkshake beer.
Conscious hip hop, and we have milkshake. So I obscurity, so just not to be. I'll tone it down, but definitely Fela Kuti, who was you take Bob Marley and James Brown, and you roll it up into one person. Fela Kuti, 26 Wives, Nigeria, fought against the system. They raided it. He tried to make his own compound within Nigeria called the Calacuta Republic. They raided it. They killed his mom. Just like just crazy. He did a song about it. Actually carried a coffin to the town hall and left it there. They weren't sure if his mom's body was in it or not, which is it's like the most gangster thing ever. But James Brown's band went to Lagos with like Bootsy Collins and them, and they're like, oh, we're going to see this guy Fela, and James Brown's like, nah, I'm cool. I'm staying in Lagos tonight doing this thing, Mr. Star. And they went there. They're like, we're the best funk band in the world. And then they were watching Fela. He had his own concert hall, basically the Africa Center, the Shrine, and. They're like, we're not the best funk band in the world. So like, you're talking.
We thought we were.
Ladies on stage dancing, background singers, a million horns. I like horns a lot because ska.
What's the name of this band again?
Fela Kuti.
Fela Kuti.
You got to spell this.
It's good. It's in our playlist, by the way.
Yeah.
Is it?
Fela, and then his last name is Kuti, Kuti. Literally big spliffs, like massive spliffs. But I would like to have a beer with him, or several beers, because
imagine the conversations you could have with politics.
Oh yeah,
music.
Yeah, and he tried to run for president, so I have a Fela shirt that says Black President, which is really cool.
There you go.
Some people are like, is that Obama? I'm like, no, Fela, Fela Kuti, man.
Oh jeez.
So, but definitely Rick James. Number 2,
Ooh,
what I mean? Like that would be a night. That would be a night that would just. I think there might be other substances,
not just beer.
It would, it might not just be beer, and I think we'd be up late. I think we might be up to the
maybe a little Tanqueray. Those are the other substances you're talking about?
No.
That would be. I think Rick James would be the night that lasted 3 days.
Yeah.
And the recovery would be 5.
Yeah, that would be pretty tough. But Rick James will be pretty amazing. And then I'm not sure about Bob Marley, him being a beer drinker. I think he's more like a sensey guy.
Well, there's nothing that says the people you're having the beer with have to drink a beer too. Right. You're the one.
There.
So they can drink whatever they want. You drink the beer.
Yeah, Marley. I had not thought of Marley.
Yeah, just to sit and reason with the eye. Would be pretty amazing just to hear about the early starts. You see him when he was a bald head, when he didn't have the dreads and everything. Right. He was doing ska. They did ska, and then they they went into reggae and popularized the reggae throughout the world. But those 3 people, I'm gonna keep it 3.
There you go.
Just to pick their brains.
That's an impressive
Have a beer.
list.
Thank you.
Good. Definitely.
Thank you.
Who's next? You want to go, Dave? Or you
Yeah,
wanna-
mine seem plebeian now.
I know. Mine are just. There's no reason for us to do these.
No.
No, of course there is. Of course there is.
I'm going to start with number 3, and John knows I had a lot of trouble picking a number 3. There were so many on the list. One I scratched off the list because I know
Dave
John
has
was
no problem with number 2 ever because he's full of shit all the time. So.
Constantly full of shit. But believe it or not, for the third one, Davy Jones was on that list because I really want to know what really the hell went on with the Monkees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Did they really learn to play their own damn instruments or not?
No.
Did Mike Nesmith actually put his fist through the wall at the Hollywood Hilton? These are the questions I need answered.
Well, Mickey Dolenz and Mike Nesmith are actually playing this. They're going on tour this year.
Yeah, I've heard.
The
right?
last Monkees tour or whatever. So
Well, they're the only 2 left.
the only 2
live.
left, yeah. But they're going to be at Count Basie in October. So definitely.
Oh,
go.
Count Basie's a great venue.
Yeah.
So another one I was thinking of was Bowie because Bowie's Bowie, and that would be really cool.
Oh, that'd be a good one too.
But I actually had to go with because
It's Dave's way of getting 4 in his top 3 because
I'm getting my top 3.
It's 5.
We do this all the time.
Yeah.
But the one that I actually wound up going with because I imagine the stories would have been fantastic because the fan base. I want to see if the fan base is any different than your rock and pop artists. Pavarotti.
Wow.
He probably has some wild ass party stories
Yeah.
in that genre. But also, I would love to hear him sing the aria from Pavarotti. I would just.
Sure.
That's tear inducing.
Sure.
But so that was my
While
number
drinking the
3.
beer.
No, that'd be a lot of gurgling going on. You'd be wasting beer.
I have to imagine that any of those guys have some crazy, like any of those people I have.
Of course.
I've got crazy ass stories.
We've all got crazy
in
ass
my-
stories. Could you imagine
like
theirs?
in my life
Right.
and in my brewery life? I've got some crazy ass stories.
Mhm.
Like I can't imagine like that.
There-
Like,
there are-
But
there's-
imagine
yeah.
an opera superstar.
Yeah.
And the fangirls.
Right.
Yes, Nessun Dorma, Matt. Absolutely, that's the one. But that'd be amazing to listen to Pavarotti's stories.
Right.
No, my number 2.
That was your number 2.
No, it was my number 3. My number 2 was one of my favorite bands growing up, and just I still think one of the most amazing voices ever in rock and roll is Freddie Mercury.
you mean
Yeah.
one of the
I'm being yes, he was the greatest.
insane.
And you know, this is a segue from opera to Freddie, right?
Yeah.
Which isn't a far segue, but yeah.
It's not a far segue because it's proven that Freddie's tremolo was greater than Pavarotti's tremolo. He was
Wow.
amazing, and he had so many stories in his life. You know, we all watched Bohemian Rhapsody. I'd like to know what the hell was true, what wasn't true.
Right.
yeah.
You know, what really went on.
Sure.
You know, and the way he grew up, being from where was he from? Zanzibar?
He's from Sri Lanka. It was.
No, not Sri
No?
Lanka. No, it's one of the islands off of I thought it was Zanzibar. At any rate, but growing up,
or Madagascar would be the only islands right
no,
there.
there was Zanzibar, but he just growing up
Matt?
in the family. Matt, we need to find out. But
Fact check.
Zanzibar, the Spice Islands, right?
Yeah.
In the restrictive family that he grew up with, and it's portrayed a bit in Bohemian Rhapsody, but
Totally.
it would be interesting to see really what his take was on it. Zanzibar, thank you, Matt. He's now
Nice.
proving me right twice tonight. Thanks.
There it is from Zanzibar. There you go.
There we go. But number 1, because you know when you grow up, as you're growing up, you don't think you're cool whatsoever.
No.
Right. And in music, there was one cat who was the coolest of all of them. And to learn what it's to be cool from this guy,
Mhm.
sit down and talk to Miles Davis.
There you go.
That would be phenomenal to listen to what he went through. One of my favorite music quotes comes from Miles Davis. 10% of music are the notes. 90% of it is the attitude of the motherfucker playing them.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Nice.
And just to learn
Actually, he was
his words.
Yeah, Anthony's got the connection to Miles.
Do you really? Oh, let's hear. Give it up.
I wish he was still alive, but he's my in-laws. He used to. She just died. Cicely Tyson was my wife's great aunt, and she was married to him. So my wife had the honor of telling him to go get his food himself. He was like, "Hey, Nikki, why don't you fix me a plate of food?" She goes, "Get it yourself." Miles Davis.
Gotta love it.
So she outcooled the king of cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
That's great.
That is awesome.
Family lore.
So those are my top three: Pavarotti, Freddie Mercury, and Miles Davis.
Nice. Wow.
My top threes are I kind of the same way. I looked at it like that. I'm like gonna, I thought Elvis too. I was going back and forth on number 3 for a bit, but I settled into my number 3, Frank Sinatra.
Nah. Oh yeah.
I want to hear those Rat Pack stories.
He can get it.
Every single one of them. I want to know every single one of those Rat Pack stories. I want to know what went on in Vegas. I want to know all of that. So
amazing.
And he can tell me some early Hoboken stories too.
Exactly.
Well.
Big shout out to Hoboken Brewery.
Absolutely.
Brandon.
That's number 3. Number 2, Walter Becker. Actually, I'm a big Steely Dan fan. And I saw Walter a bunch of times, and obviously I've got
a problem with Steely Dan fans.
All right, we'll talk to you later, guys. Have a nice night.
Anthony knows. I walked into the brewery one day, and I'm like, I don't fucking know how people could like Steely Dan, listen to Steely Dan. I don't get it. I hope they die.
What had crawled up your ass and died that day? what was?
No, this isn't that day. This is like I still think that right now.
All right. Well, we'll have a nice night, folks. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. This has been.
I think
I'm half kidding.
One thing I will say, I do think that a lot of the music, and I'm blanking on the other half of Steely Dan.
Donald Fagen.
Yeah,
Fagen overproduced the shit out of everything. He, in a sense, he took some great music and sometimes tore the soul out of it.
It depends on what you're listening to, and some of the newer stuff maybe so, but some of the original stuff was just it was really good musicianship because they except for the first album or two, they used nothing but studio musicians.
I'm not arguing about the musicianship. I'm arguing about the production of it.
They used amazing musicians. And I just muted Anthony because I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But Fagen was also famous for taking take after take after take until it was absolutely perfect.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, he was a perfectionist, a ridiculously perfectionist. Yeah.
Right, but rock and roll is not perfect, and that's the beauty of rock
it wasn't
and roll.
rock and roll, right? It was Steely Dan. I mean, it was what they did,
Yeah.
So look, here's my thing. I enjoyed. There's no music that I hate. There's not one. You can't tell me one bit of music that I hate. There's nothing that I hate. There's some genres, like subgenres, if you will, that I dislike, but there's still good music within them as well. But there's nothing that I hate. But it's a mood thing for me. Steely Dan just.
What would you talk to him about? What would you?
I just want to know.
Now we've lost.
There you go. We lost Anthony.
Oh God! Someone go to the brewery, make sure he didn't fall into a tank.
And again. Full circle.
My
original point.
Now you hit the nail on the head there. You're right, Jeff. Anyway, so it's a groove thing for me. It's a feel thing for me. I just like it anytime I heard it. Like, for instance, I'll give you one example. The last time that I saw Walter before he passed was at the Beacon Theater, one of the residency nights that they did there. I used to do there, whatever. And they were playing Hey 19, and he just, like, in the breakdown section right at the end of the song before the song goes out, the song, he came up to the mic, and not that he sung at all, but he came up to the mic, and he just started a story, and he went on for probably 15 minutes, about smoking hitting a bong, drinking all the tequila. It was a part of the song, but just the words that he was saying, was very it was not want to say transcendent. I don't want to be like all upper here or whatever.
Poignant.
But poignant. We're very poignant, and but it's like I said, it's just the groove of it. And I just want to know about those early days of Steely Dan and what they did in the 70s. I want to know about it's a musical thing then. It's not so much the stories, and it's some of the times or whatever, but it's what they did in the studio, who they brought in, how they wrote the songs. That's what I want to know from him.
You know what you guys will like if you've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys have Access TV.
Yeah, I haven't.
So Brian Johnson, the singer of AC/DC's got an interview show now.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, and it's really good. So he goes out and interviews all these other musicians. I just actually watched last night or the night before. I watched him interview Joe Walsh.
Okay.
And it's amazing because you've got a famous dude interviewing another famous dude. So first of all, you've broken down a wall right there because they've got a lot in common. It's not like me. I'm just some like interviewer from Rolling Stone interviewing like who's got nothing in common really with the musician other than the fact that I'm in the music business as an interviewer.
Right.
Yeah, it's like us schlubs interviewing you guys.
Right.
but they've got stuff in common. So like they could relate to each other. And the interview goes in these awesome directions. So if you've never seen that show, I highly recommend it. It's basically what you're just saying. Like, I want to know what they were doing. Like, what were they thinking?
Right.
And that's what watching this Joe Walsh interview, like Joe Walsh was describing his time hanging out with Keith Moon and trashing hotel rooms and how he got an assistant or something. Right. Like an assistant or something got him a chainsaw because he asked for the one hotel room. They asked for an adjoining room and they didn't give it to him. So he got a chainsaw and he cut a hole through the wall so they could have an adjoining room.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I love it.
It's a really good show.
I'll have to look into that and check that out definitely. And there's and Anthony's back. It looks like he's back anyway.
I think he's back.
He looks like he's coming back. There he is.
There he is.
He's back. But I'll definitely check that out. And on that note too, I don't know if you saw it. I forget what channel it's on too. Sammy Hagar has an interview show too.
Same thing. It's on Access TV also.
It's on, yeah. I've seen it. Was it on Access that I saw it? I thought it was on another channel that I might have seen it.
Yeah, I watch it. I watch his show on Access. But again, it's same kind of thing.
It ABs with on the channel I'm watching with what's his face, Dan Rather does interviews too.
Again, Dan Rather's on Access TV too. Like his amazing interviews.
Yeah, they're crazy good. So beyond that,
we've gotten folks playing at home. We're in the top threes.
Yeah,
we've all finished except for John, who's still got his number one.
I got my number one.
No, but I derailed.
No
worries. No worries. It's all good.
And
it's all good.
Anybody who knows John already knows who more than likely my number one is, and the person whose name we don't say 3 times on the show would say the same
you're not
going to
say
their
Madonna,
number one.
Are you?
No.
Madonna?
Did something happen to Madonna?
They had to be dead.
I was gonna say. I was giving mine. I was gonna say.
Wait, I'm gonna derail you again and tell another story. So back when I was in college, this is a dead person story. So back when I was in college, me and a buddy of mine come out to New York City for the day from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Like, let's go to New York. We're walking around Midtown. And one of the dudes from MTV is out on the street, like just grabbing people and interviewing them. So he's like, you guys, come over here, I want to interview you. So he asked us, what famous person would we least want to sleep with? So my buddy was brilliant. So I'm like, Madonna, because she's Madonna. She's probably been with everybody. My buddy's like, Judy Garland. The guy's looking at him like, Judy Garland? Yeah, because she's dead. And I'm like,
that's great.
I actually have this on CD somewhere that I recorded and saved it. It's great.
That's awesome. Yeah. Hey guys, I gotta bounce. I gotta do some stuff. So, but I appreciate it. This was really fun.
You got it.
Big shout out to Roger Apollon Jr. The 3 of the 4. Come by. You're always welcome. Come by. Enjoy the beer. We're in like about 50 locations in New Jersey now. A lot of Bottle Kings and down by Sickles. We're down Sickles down in Red Bank. That's closest to you. You know,
I didn't know that. I'll have to get up there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
check that out if you don't want to drive too far.
No,
but
you've got to
otherwise,
get to the brewery, John.
wanna see
Well, no,
your
I have
mug,
to get to the
you
brewery
gotta-
too,
you gotta
but
meet me up at the
sure to
brewery.
get into the brewery. Yeah,
Yeah, check.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta see your mug in person. You know.
absolutely.
But guys, I appreciate it. And listen, the one thing you got to take from this is it's forgive them lager, for they know not what they brew. All right, I'm gonna leave you with that little tidbit. I'm the pun guys.
There you go.
So, all right,
You were the juggler. Now you're the punler.
a punler. I do it all.
The punler. There you go.
Yeah. All right, thanks,
All
guys.
right.
Hey,
You got
Peace
Anthony.
out.
Enjoy.
the 4.
Of course.
All right, take care, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
All
Good
right,
night.
so now, John, that we've totally derailed your list.
Well, no,
I need to know
I
those
need to
last
derail
lists.
him one more time.
Oh,
one
Jesus,
thing that
come on.
that I was going to throw on mine. It was going to just be a shtick. I'm like, how about Keith Richards?
Yeah.
He's still alive.
That motherfucker's still alive.
Yeah, he's still
Hell
alive.
yeah.
He's alive. Did you see the picture of
him holding Betty White?
Baby picture of Betty White with Keith Richards holding her?
The thing is, I've always wondered what the rest of that band feels like when people start making fun of Keith Richards being forever, because they're just as old as he
They're
is.
just as old as he is. Absolutely. Anyway, all right, my number one.
It's number one. Took a long road to get here.
All right.
Neil Peart.
Oh, good one.
Absolutely. He
Yeah.
just passed last year, unfortunately. And I saw Rush. Rush is I don't want to say one of my favorite bands. Is my favorite band.
It's
Rush
you've
is
seen them, what, 32 times?
24 times. I saw Rush 24 times.
No, they're good. And that's crazy. Like, being a drummer myself, like, I'm a terrible singer and I write some stuff, but it sucks. But like being the drummer in a band who wrote a lot of the songs and the lyrics to the songs.
But there's only a couple of songs that he did not write the lyrics to.
Mm-hmm.
College literature classes studied his lyrics. It's insane what he wrote. And he was just an amazing, gifted, talented, best drummer ever.
Oh,
and one of the best lyricists, that in
definitely the largest drum set ever.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, insane.
Absolutely. Some of his solos were just amazing. I saw them play so many, like I said, so many concerts, so many times. But
I saw I think I've only seen them once. The only time I saw them was in Binghamton, New York, at the Binghamton Arena, which is a tiny, like 3,000 seat arena.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was an amazing show because you're like anywhere you sit in that place, you're like right there.
Right.
It was crazy. The light show the light show they did was insane.
Oh, their concert that they put on
your head, Jeff.
Oh, right.
The concert that they put on is just it's second to none. It's amazing, and they never recorded anything on any record that they couldn't reproduce live and on any song, and they were sticklers for that. And the shows that they put on. And with all of and later on with all the videos in the background and the beginning, when they took the intermission and came back, and then later on at the end of it, I mean, I could tell you stories. It's just amazing. It really is. But the concerts they put on, but the things that he wrote and the things that he did, I would love to sit down. I know all of them were big wine guys. They were big wine guys, all three of them. But I would love to sit down and have a beer with him. I mean, he wrote, and Dave will tell you, we did with Jesse Ferguson from Minervino on our top 3 list was top 3 instances of beer in lyrics. And my number 1 was Territories from Rush on the Power Windows album. And the line was better people, better food, and better beer. So, obviously beer was something that they did enjoy. But yeah,
I can only think of 2 songs really quick. Like when I think of that, I got 2 songs. I got what's his face? One Scotch, one bourbon.
Thorogood came up.
Of course, Thorogood.
Yeah.
And then there's an old timey song from like the 50s. I like beer.
Tom T. Hall.
I forget it.
Tom T. Hall, yeah.
Yeah.
So that it's crazy. And then of course, another one of mine was Billy Joel too. Scenes from Italian Restaurant, Cold Beer, Hot Lights, My Sweet Romantic Teenage Nights. So
I kind of went a little old timey too with In Heaven There Is No Beer.
That's why we drink it.
Yeah.
And when we're gone from here,
our friends will be drinking all the beer.
Exactly. Right. So there you go.
That's growing up in Pennsylvania with the polka. Oh my God. I heard that song a lot. I should have known that.
You should have. Yeah.
Oh, the polka. Yeah, I was at a wedding out in King of Prussia once. And we're sitting there, and there's a bunch of guys from Jersey there. I'm sitting with them, and they're like, but
Did he get the? I think he got the blue
Did
screen.
he get the
again.
blue screen again? His computer was saying, "Hey, you know what? We can't have this conversation.
Enough of that. Yeah.
None of it. We're good." Anyway, is he coming back? Do we know if he's coming back? I don't think so. So we'll have to.
All right. Perfect. Oh wait.
There he is.
There
He's back. Look at that. You there?
I froze. I came back. Did you get the
All
whole?
right.
Get the whole thing about the mummers?
No, we didn't.
Oh, because they're like, why the hell are they playing polka? I'm like, they're not playing polka. This is southeastern Pennsylvania. That's mummers.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Because they've got the envelopes, the umbrellas and everything.
Umbrellas. Yeah. It's not envelopes that they hold. It's
They
umbrellas.
get those like big peacock feathers behind
Right,
them.
yeah.
Well, they weren't doing that. They didn't get the whole rack going.
My God.
The guys in makeup and.
Gotcha. Anyway, Jeff, stay where you are. Let me close up the show. We'll talk for a second after I close it up. Hang on a
All
second.
right.
I'm gonna disappear while you do this for a second.
Why not? Go for
Because
it.
I have to break the seal.
Go for it. Go break the seal. Go ahead. Enjoy. We'll wrap the show up for today on that note. We want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.loggerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Logger Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night at 6:30. And for those of you that just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, and Stitcher. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Jeff, thanks for coming on with us. We really had a great time. That was an awesome show tonight. You guys were great. Give Anthony our best. And, of course, our best to Roger. Let him know, let him know he missed a good show.
I will. I'll rub it in.
Absolutely, rub it in a little bit, and I'll definitely get up there. We'll be there soon. We'll definitely come up and have a few beers with you. But thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we will talk to you soon, guys. Take care. Cheers.
They found him face down in his waffles, maple syrup dripping from his fake robe. Who did he see when he heard who was there? Now it seems that he shit out of love.